Right now, a large wildfire near Fort McCoy continues to burn, causing more evacuations. We have the latest update from the DNR.
Plus, the FBI arrests a man for allegedly leaking highly classified documents about the war in Ukraine.
And later, controversy on the UW-Madison campus after a speaking event tonight. Why the group hosting the event and LGBTQ advocates disagree on the content of tonight's talk. That's all coming up right now at 10. We begin tonight with a massive fire in Monroe County as crews continue to try and contain it.
The fire has already burned hundreds of acres of land and is threatening multiple structures. This is newly released video from the National Guard showing helicopters taking water and dumping it onto the fire. Fire departments from across the Fort McCoy area are helping the DNR and the Wisconsin National Guard try to establish a containment line. The evacuation center has been moved from the Warrens Community Center to the Lunda Center in Black River Falls. There is some good news, though. Some evacuation orders are now being rescinded.
And DNR and Fort McCoy officials say fire crews are making progress on the blaze, as News 3 Now's Andrew Banstra found out at a press conference tonight.
Officials say a vast fire that began on the base at Fort McCoy in Black River Falls has been 50% contained. While a cause hasn't been determined, prescribed burns were taking place on the base all week to make sure that the base's grounds were ideal for training, with 2,000 soldiers coming in to train this week.
We are going to do really in-depth investigation on this and walk it back, but our focus right now is to ensure the safety of personnel, safety of property, and get this contained and put out. This has visibility at the highest levels.
The 3,000-acre fire is largely still on the military base, with just 70 acres sprawling off the base. The cause of the fire is not under investigation yet, as they deploy every available resource to battle the blaze. In Black River Falls, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
So far, no injuries have been reported. In Juneau County near Necedah, area residents are safe to go back home tonight. DNR officials say that area's wildfire was contained yesterday, but they held off on giving the all clear. Today, crews remained on site, clearing smoke and checking for hot spots.
The state of emergency declared by Governor Evers still remains in effect. Today, the governor said he's taking note of emergency efforts across the state with updates almost every half hour. He has also asked for the public to be safe and handle anything flammable with care.
So what will conditions look like for fire crews tomorrow? Let's check with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who has your first warn forecast.
Unfortunately, we'll probably see another pretty critical fire day, especially for areas on the northern parts of our viewing area, north of Wisconsin Dells. A fire weather watch has been issued from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. tomorrow for that area. That's where the relative humidities will be a little bit lower. Temperatures will probably still be around 80 or a little bit above. And so that and winds that, while not quite as strong as today, will be brisk enough to cause any fire that does occur to get out of control pretty quickly. That's why the fire weather watch is in effect for that area. The time lapse from the WISC TV Skycam shows clear skies for much of the day today. Just a few clouds coming in from the south and west, high-level clouds at that. Certainly not low enough to bring any rain. And you can see those high temperatures today, upper 70s to the middle 80s. A number of areas set records, including Madison. That 82-degree high was a record here, and current temperatures are still close to 70 in Madison. Janesville's at 70, and temperatures are above 70 in a few areas. A little cooler closer to Lake Michigan in east central Wisconsin, but in Dane County right now, 70 degrees in McFarland, 64 in Mount Horeb, and 70 degrees right now in Sun Prairie. But the relative humidities are still pretty low. They're a little bit better than they were at this time yesterday, but still in the 35 to 40% range. That's still pretty low for this time of night. Look for partly cloudy to mostly clear skies overnight. It'll remain unseasonably mild with a low temperature of 54 degrees. Tomorrow, we could be close to another record. I'll take a look at the ones that fell today and when this warm weather will end in just a few minutes.
A man killed in a wrong-way crash on Interstate 3990 on Madison's east side last week has been identified. 58-year-old David Street of Peoria, Illinois, died in the crash near Cottage Grove Road on April 7th. The wrong-way driver, 26-year-old Jesse Bawley of Stoughton, was taken to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Online court records show he now faces multiple felony charges.
An Oregon business was evacuated this morning following a bomb threat that was later deemed unsubstantiated. According to Oregon police, an employee at Mid Central Electric on Market Street found a note that implied there may have been a bomb gun in the facility. Officers responded to the scene at about 9:30 this morning and swept the building with the help of a canine. No explosive devices were found, and employees were allowed back inside. If anyone has information about what happened, please call Oregon Police.
Madison police say they've identified the woman they believe killed a man and his dog in a hit-and-run crash earlier this year. Authorities didn't say if they've arrested the 21-year-old yet, but Dane County jail records indicated the 21-year-old suspect was not in custody as of this afternoon. According to an updated incident report from the department, the suspect had a toddler inside her car at the time of the crash. It marks the second deadly crash on Schrader Road in 2 years. The man accused of firebombing an anti-abortion group's office is pleading not guilty. Investigators believe Herindidu Roy Chowdhury threw 2 Molotov cocktails into the Madison office of Wisconsin Family Action last May. He was arrested in Boston and is currently in federal custody. He also waived his right to appear in court for an arraignment once he is returned to Wisconsin. A date has not been set for his initial appearance in court.
Now to Waukesha, where Darrell Brooks was ordered to pay more in restitution to the victims of the Waukesha Christmas parade tragedy. Brooks had already been ordered to pay more than $124,000 to crime victim compensation. Today, he was ordered to pay an additional $10,000 to the fund. Brooks will also have a portion of his prison wages garnished to go toward his restitution repayment, although the amount is capped by state law.
Back in Oregon, police say they arrested the mother of a 4-year-old after the child had to go to the hospital after eating a marijuana gummy. Officers were called to Stoughton Hospital yesterday after the child's mother and another adult said they had trouble getting the 4-year-old to respond at home. During a search warrant at the mother's home, police allegedly found drug paraphernalia. The mother was arrested on a tentative charge of child neglect. The child has since been released from the hospital. A member of the Massachusetts Air National Guard is behind bars, accused of leaking sensitive documents related to the war in Ukraine.
Well, CBS News correspondent Nicole D'Antonio reports on the day's events from the White House.
CBS Boston News captured video from above as FBI agents arrested the suspected leaker of Pentagon documents.
We do have stringent guidelines in place for safeguarding classified and sensitive information. This was a deliberate criminal act.
Massachusetts National Guard airman 21-year-old Jack Teixeira was taken into custody outside his mother's home south of Boston. Federal officers swarmed the home 1 week after the Pentagon first discovered the highly classified documents posted on social media. The leak started in the fall. The arrest stunned neighbors in North Dighton.
Well, it's just a small town. Unless you live in the area, you don't even know it exists. Overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
The documents were allegedly posted on a gaming platform called Discord, whose members were mostly teenagers. The Washington Post interviewed a member of the group who said the leaks began with text messages quoting classified documents and then photographs of the actual documents. As a member of the intelligence wing, Teixeira installed fiber optic cables at a base in Massachusetts. Federal officials are trying to figure out how he got access to the confidential documents. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
The New York Times says a digital trail led journalists to the suspect. A Times reporter showed up at his childhood home just before the FBI arrived.
More news surrounding Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. According to a ProPublica report, a Republican mega-donor bought 3 properties owned by Justice Thomas, but the justice did not disclose those transactions. Harlan Crow reportedly bought the Savannah, Georgia properties in 2014 through his company. Crow says he has since sold 2 of the properties, but he still owns the one in which Justice Thomas's elderly mother lives. Ethics law experts say the failure to disclose the transactions appears to be a violation of the law.
Former President Trump returned to New York for the second time in 2 weeks to face another legal battle, this time appearing for a deposition in a civil fraud lawsuit. The lawsuit accuses Trump, 3 of his children, and their company of a long-running fraud, saying they overvalued assets by billions of dollars. The $250 million suit describes a scheme to get tax benefits and preferential loans.
The inflation of his assets, it seems like they have a very compelling case against him.
Trump denies any wrongdoing. His attorney said in a statement, the former president looks forward to educating the attorney general about the immense success of his multi-billion-dollar company.
Florida could soon have one of the more restrictive abortion laws in the country after the state's Republican House members approved a bill today. The measure to ban most abortion procedures after 6 weeks of pregnancy now goes to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk. The new legislation would allow women who are victims of rape, incest, or human trafficking the right to get an abortion up to 15 weeks of a pregnancy. Florida women would have to show legal or medical evidence for that exception. Meanwhile, a federal appeals court has frozen parts of a Texas judge's order that would have suspended FDA approval of the abortion drug mifepristone. Under the appeals court's new order, the drug will remain on the market while an expedited appeal plays out. However, there are some restrictions. The medication can only be used for up to 7 weeks of pregnancy instead of 10. It also cannot be distributed by mail without a visit to a doctor. When we come back, Gary returns with a complete look at the forecast.
But first, the Wisconsin Film Festival is back in Madison for its 25th year. We hear from one of the film's directors on the experiences there.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Why are there 2 extra seats? Are we getting 2 Great Danes? I know, giant Uncle Dane and his giant beard. Maybe a dragon. Twin sisters! And one is a robot and one is a knight. And I'll be on the side of the octopus.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 4.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Krystexxa.
Krystexxa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Krystexxa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Krystexxa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Krystexxa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Krystexxa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Krystexxa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Krystexxa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Krystexxa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Krystexxa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
If you love horses, saddle up for a trip to your happy place right here at the 608.
Tomorrow, Josh shares a live look at what's going on at this year's Midwest Horse Fair.
It looks like this warm weather will come to an end with a front this weekend. We'll track the rain tomorrow between 4:30 and 7.
Stephen A. Smith always brings his A game.
You need to be on your game to some degree, even if you casual.
And beats Matt Walsh.
I was a 5-page spread in Pickleball Magazine.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Tonight, controversy on the UW-Madison campus after a Catholic author was invited to speak about her experience with homosexuality and discovering her faith.
Well, at first, many students felt excited and even accepted. But as Nicole Herzog explains, the speaker's message wasn't what they were expecting.
Wednesday morning, all UW-Madison students received an email that Catholic author Kim Zember would be coming to speak on campus about her experience with homosexuality and life with Christ.
I was honestly kind of happy initially upon seeing the email just because it used a lot of LGBTQIA+ affirming language, and I think that the main message in that email was love wins.
But after reading up on Zember's memoir, students found that the book discusses how the author, quote, freed herself from a homosexual lifestyle lifestyle and stopped acting on her desires.
They should have been more explicit with what the event was about instead of trying to make it an inclusive thing, because this is actually really harming the LGBTQ+ community on this campus, and it just continues like the violence and the targeting of them.
Members of Badger Catholic, the student organization hosting the event, say that alienating students was the opposite of what they wanted to do.
So we wanted to keep it a lot more just like simple and vague in some ways, just because we wanted to be inviting and not just to market it towards our the Catholic community on campus, but also to everyone.
President of Badger Catholic, Max Sherwin, says he hopes people listen to the talk before judging Zember's views.
We're on a university, which is a marketplace of ideas, and so we want to sort of make that a reality.
Mia Warren, a member of Sex Out Loud, a sexual health organization on campus, says they plan to provide resources outside the event for members of the LGBTQ+ community, plus host peer counseling during the week for anyone feeling hurt or unwelcome on campus.
Just kind of want to let folks who are going that may take away a message that is not what they were intending to take, know that they're heard, they're seen, they're valid, and they have a lot of resources for them.
For News 3 Now, I'm Nicole Herzog.
There was a Q&A after the speech for any student to ask questions or express concerns about what was said. A recorded live stream of the event can be found on the Badger Catholic Facebook page.
The Wisconsin Film Festival returned to Madison theaters tonight with a Ukrainian film at Shannon Hall. In its 25th year, the festival showcases more than 150 films from all over the world. The festival prides itself showing films of all sorts of genres and origins. Chris James Thompson, director of the film We Are Not Ghouls, reflected on his past film festival experience.
There was a super formative experience that I had at the Wisconsin Film Festival when the filmmakers were doing question and answer, talking about how they made the projects, why they made them. And as an audience member, how awesome is this? To have this conversation with these creative people that were making these awesome pieces of art. And it kind of stuck with me like, oh, this is something that has value in our community, to make art and to share experiences with people, and then have this party, essentially, this festival to celebrate the filmmakers, to enjoy food and drink, and to wander around to different screenings and have these Q&As. So it really was a Wisconsin Film Festival that got me interested in becoming a filmmaker.
The Wisconsin Film Festival began tonight and runs through the 20th. Screenings can be seen all over the city, including at Union South, the Chazen, and the theater at Hilldale is reopening just for the week-long festival.
Parts of South Florida are cleaning up following days of heavy downpours. The storm dumped more than 2 feet of rain in Fort Lauderdale in just a matter of hours, leaving people trapped in their homes and travelers stranded. Roads and streets turned into rivers amid what the National Weather Service is calling a life-threatening situation. Some drivers in Broward County abandoned their vehicles, leaving cars submerged in the rising waters.
I've lived here for the last 4 years, and as much rain as we get, this is the worst I've ever seen it.
Authorities are using vacuum trucks to clear up the floodwaters and going from house to house to check on people. Well, meanwhile, up here, things have been dry, but that could change this weekend. Gary joins us with the complete forecast.
Isn't that the way it goes? You know, we could use just even a little bit of rain, and there's way too much that's been occurring in southern Florida. In fact, that's been going on for the last couple of days. Take a look at the radar rainfall estimates over southeastern Florida over the last 96 hours. And there's a little bullseye right over Fort Lauderdale. That's a radar estimate of almost 2 feet of rain, but much of this area here from the southern portion of Milwaukee or the Miami metro area, almost as far north as West Palm Beach, has seen anywhere between 5 and 10 inches of rain. They had another round of showers and storms that moved through this afternoon. Fortunately, those moved out pretty quickly and things are starting to improve there. Around here, it's been dry, but we've also had some record high temperatures. Again today, records fell, including Madison this time. We hit 82. That broke the old record high of 78 set back in 1938. But Green Bay, Chicago O'Hare Airport, and Milwaukee set records. Wausau, 83, and La Crosse, the warm spot at 85. Second day in a row they had a record. 3 things you need to know. The forecast will remain unseasonably warm for tomorrow. I'm still thinking high temperatures up around 80, although the record high for Madison is 84, so we'll probably be shy of that. Still be dry for tomorrow, too. That means more fire danger. The highest will be in areas north of Wisconsin Dells, where the humidities will be a little bit lower. The winds might be a little bit stronger there. And then we'll see some showers and thunderstorms probably late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. And then rain on Sunday may change to snow Sunday night as we turn sharply colder. There are river flood warnings for much of the Wisconsin River, parts of the Fox and Wolf Rivers in east central Wisconsin, the Menominee River up in northern Wisconsin, and now even parts of the Mississippi River as that snow melt from earlier this winter, all that water works its way downstream. So they don't want any more rain, at least in those areas. We could use the rain here to lessen the fire danger, but you can see not a drop anywhere around us. Now by Saturday, showers and thunderstorms will develop. Could even see the possibility for an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm with wind and hail being the main threats, mainly from about Madison southward. And you see this on Future Track beginning late Saturday morning. Showers and thunderstorms coming in from the west, continuing Saturday night, mainly rain on Sunday. But as the temperatures turn colder, notice the rain start mixing with snow near the Mississippi River late in the day on Sunday. And then by early Monday morning, there could be a brief period where the snow comes down hard enough and the temperatures are cold enough that we could see at least a little bit of snow stick to the ground before everything moves off to the east and skies start to clear late in the day. The rainfall is welcome, generally about an inch over southern Wisconsin, maybe some areas up close to 2 inches and heavier thunderstorms, but it's that snow. Again, it's going to be a very narrow band, probably from maybe north of the Dells up into central Wisconsin and north central Wisconsin. They could see several inches of snow, mainly on grassy areas. We'll have to see how that plays out. Fire weather watch from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. tomorrow, again for areas north of the Dells, Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties in that area. Tomorrow, high of 80, partly sunny, unseasonably warm again. And as we look at planning your day for Dane County, high of 80 in Oregon, 79 in Marshall, and 80 in DeForest with partly sunny skies. 80 in Prairie du Chien, 81 in La Crosse, and 81 up to the north in Wautoma. First warn 7 to 10 day forecast. 78 on Saturday. Thunderstorms late in the day into Saturday night. That high of 51 early in the day on Sunday with temperatures falling through the 40s. And then we change over to a period of snow late Sunday night, early Monday morning before that comes to an end. Temperatures rebound pretty quickly, so any snow that sticks will melt very quickly. We'll be up close to 70 by Thursday with some showers and thunderstorms. A little cooler for next weekend.
And coming up in sports, the Brewers using the long ball to jump out to an early lead in San Diego. How two swings gave the Crew some momentum in their series opener. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
When it's time to remodel your home, lean on the experts at Brothers Maine for all things appliances. As Madison and Janesville's local appliance authority since 1938, our experienced staff will make your project easy from concept to completion. Better than big box, Brothers Maine has a larger selection, lower prices, and professional advice to bring your vision to life. On time and on budget. From sales to install, we do it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Made with American biofuels, E15 saves drivers money, reduces emissions, and creates jobs in rural communities. Last year, when gas prices were spiking, President Biden extended summer sales of E15 and saved drivers nearly $1 per gallon in some areas. We can't afford higher gas prices this summer. We need the Biden administration to act again. Tell Senator Baldwin that President Biden must protect access to E15 and extend savings at the pump.
Gruber Law Offices, Gruber Law Offices, Gruber Law Offices. For over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices has had one goal: to provide top-notch legal services. One call, one call, one call, one call, that's all.
Since their season ended in Las Vegas, Greg Gard has wasted no time hitting the transfer portal to add pieces to his roster for the upcoming season. His latest, AJ Storr. The 6'6" guard started 17 games last year for St. John's, averaging nearly 9 points per game while shooting 40% from three. Storr was named to the Big East all-freshman team and said he chose Wisconsin for 2 reasons. Gard made him a priority, and he wants to win. What a season it's been for Wisconsin women's tennis. The Badgers have 15 wins to their name, 4th time that's happened since 2000, and obviously that's helped them earn a top 25 ranking. And as Jordan Reed found out, the team's recipe for success is pretty simple.
It's been a regular season to remember for Wisconsin women's tennis. With a 15-4 record to their name, the Badgers are ranked 21st in the country.
You always hope that when you put in the work, it pays off, and I think this year for them it really has.
And it's pretty easy to see where this team's success is coming from. First off, chemistry.
We just spend a lot of time with each other off the court, and so I think that makes it even more special to competing alongside one another and putting everything out there on the line for people that you care about and that you know care about you as well.
Here you play for your team, and it's so different, and it's been difficult for me at first, but I realized that we all play for each other, we support each other, and so we have the same goal.
One that lands this group in the NCAAs.
Last season, the first team out of NCAAs, and so that was kind of heartbreaking. And so this year, the focus was we were so close last year, we want to make NCAAs.
You learn the most from maybe some tough lessons, and I think last year's team with them returning this year, I think they really put in the work to prepare for those moments this year, and I think it's benefited them, and they've had success.
As they continue to serve up a season that will go down in program history. In Madison, Jordan Reed, News 3 Sports.
Quarterfinals of the Women's World Championships. Sarah Nurse in Canada taking on Sweden, and this one was all former Badgers for the Canadians. First period, Blair Turnbull dangles and then goes backhand for the goal to give Canada a 1-0 lead. This one would go to overtime, and Nurse would call game. She rips one into the back of the net for the game winner. That's her 2nd goal of the night. Canada moves on to the semifinals with a 3-2 win. Another late first pitch for the Brewers. Crew taking on the Padres, and they wasted no time to get on the board. First inning, Rowdy Tellez deposits a 2-run shot into the seats in right to give Milwaukee the early lead. It's 2-1 in the 5th, and Mike Brazo sends a solo shot to center. This one in the 7th. Crew still up a pair. We're back after this.
Spring savings are in full swing, and everything is on sale at Ashley. Sofas start at $6 a month. Dining sets at $8 a month. Bedroom sets at $13 per month. Plus special financing options for any budget and free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Ashley.
We went to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison last night.
I don't really get how the jackpots work.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison actually has had multiple million-dollar winners.
There are linked progressive slot machines at the same casino where local players increase the jackpot amount.
And a standalone progressive jackpot increases when a player plays on an individual machine that isn't linked to any other machine. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More ways to win. Find your perfect jackpot.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Do you trust your insurance agent? Do you trust your insurance company? Well, you'd better. Because all they've really sold you is a promise to be there when things go bad. A promise to take care of you, to step up and put everything back the way it was. So if you don't trust your insurance company, maybe it's time to find one you do trust. West Bend. The worst brings out our best.
Spring into action and save on stressless seating at the Century House. Now get $400 off all classic power recliners, signature-based recliners and ottomans, and cross-based recliners and ottomans. And get $400 off most sofas and love seats. Imagine how much you can save building your dream sectional. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
You've got places to be, things to do, goals to crush. So at Basecamp Fitness, we pack 50 minutes worth of calorie burn into just 35. How do we do it? By switching between 60-second intervals of air bike cardio and strength training to keep the workout and your progress moving forward fast, no matter what level you're at. Now through April 19th, get 2 weeks free. Visit any of our 3 Madison locations or basecampfitness.com.
If you've got the TV volume way up right now, then you really need these. These tiny but powerful little hearing aids are the Nano CIC Recharge, priced at only $297 for a full pair. These are not simply amplifiers. These are ultra high quality, ultra reliable hearing aids, priced thousands less than other hearing aids. They fit right in your ear. Nothing shows in the back of your ear. Payments as low as $36 a month.
1-800-276-3995.
The Buy Like a Builder event is going on now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. For a limited time, get home builder pricing on the largest selection of name brand appliances in all of Wisconsin. Plus free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
A lot of people are keeping an eye on those hot and dry conditions out there.
Yeah, at least another day of it. Let's start out by looking at the live view from the Edgewater Sky Camp. Pretty night out there, very mild. 69 Madison, 68 Janesville, a few places around 70, including Camp Douglas. Here in Dane County, the 70s are found at Edgerton, McFarland, Stoughton, and Deerfield are all at or above 70 degrees. Look for a low of 54 overnight, high tomorrow of 80, another unseasonably warm day. Probably not quite a record, though. Fire weather watch for areas north of Wisconsin Dells from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow. That's where the fire danger will be highest for tomorrow. But temperatures turn a lot colder on Sunday. Maybe some snow Sunday night. How about that?
What?
Do something good.